Radio Medium is made possible by our sponsors, your hometown lawyers, Kanowski-Bresney, Washington Square Realtors, who turned houses into homes, WRWO 94.5 FM, Bet Jordan Productions, and websites $4.99 by Damasco Innovations. Plus, many fine individuals contribute their talents to this broadcast. If you'd like to share your message by sponsoring our show, contact us at radiomediumlauralee.com.
Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with Radio Medium Laura Lee.
Laura Lee here, tuning back into Spirit with my special guest, my mom, Cheryl. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Laura.
Thanks for coming into the studio with me and chit-chatting about the spirit of motherhood and our journey together, which has had its moments, but it's had some great moments too. So when I say it had its moments, what was your first thought, Mom, when you learned I went public being a spiritual medium?
Well, it's interesting because your whole life as a mother, I always wanted to support whatever career or calling all of you have ever had.
Right.
But that left me gobsmacked. I didn't know about that because to me, I didn't see how you were going to make a living, first of all. Second of all, because I'm a mother, I'm afraid for you, you know. You are always fearful for your children.
Right.
And just being out there in a kind of special realm, talking to people, you know, just wants you to be safe. Although it's silly because, I mean, all our children can be in harm's way with little things too, but I was just worried. But it's turned out to be a great calling for you, so I'm happy now.
Right.
Yeah, but those were my first thoughts at the beginning. After you had come out, an aunt that used to come to see me, she lived in Arizona. There were only 3 women in their family and 9 brothers.
Right.
And the 3 women were raised by my grandmother, and they were all loving. And at any rate, she asked me what you were doing, and I told her. And that was the first time that I discovered the long lineage of psychics in our family.
Right. Ganelda. This was Ganelda, right?
Yeah. She said, well, of course she is. I said, what do you mean, of course she is? And she said, well, so was Aunt Desi. And she started naming off. And she said, to a large extent, my mom. Well, I grew up with my grandmother, very close to her.
Right.
And it was nothing for me to hear every morning. She'd be fixing me breakfast, and she'd be cooking in the kitchen like she liked to cook.
Right.
And she'd be talking about how her sister who had passed came to her last night and said such and such. And
right.
By that time, my grandfather, my beloved grandfather, had passed. And she said he had come and told her something else. But she says it matter-of-factly in my whole life.
Right.
She was talking about communicating with spirits as though it were the most completely natural thing in the world.
Yeah, we have too, but then...
I guess in a way we have, but not quite as much as she did. And also, now I find out that her sister, her mother, her aunt, I don't know if they were practicing psychic, but they had a very strong connection to the spirit realm and the whole line of women in that side of the family.
Right. Well, I think women have a stronger connection to the spiritual realm. Not to say that men don't, but in our culture, we're given the freedom to be very touchy-feely and emotional. We're given that permission, whereas the men are told to clamp down on that. So they might shut that part off of them, whereas we have those connections, and sometimes the men, you know, that's not happening. You know, they've shut off that part of themselves. So I think it's more natural when it comes to women. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Women are more communicative, and they are not only touchy-feely, but they are astute. They listen to one another. What you say is important to them, and they will concentrate. They use their ears and their hearts, too.
Yeah. Well, this has been an interesting conversation. I'm so grateful that you've had time to come on to the show so we can chit-chat about it. Thank you, Mom, for spending time with me and sharing.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Thank you for being such a great mom and coming on to my show and sharing your wisdom. And again, I want to remind those of you who are standing by listening, your calls are welcome. Come over to radiomediumlauralee.com. There's a sign-up form there. And as always, I look forward to hearing from you.